Why did this guy fail his driving test for the most unusual thing ever? I'm going to break down this marking sheet, I'm going to explain what happened and why he failed the test. All the important stuff, I'm going to either leave a video above or the video in the description. So the very first thing we see here is they got a grade 2 for position on the straight. Usually that means they're just not able to drive in a straight line down the road in good position. Remember, correct position is you want to be centre left, away from the centre line. Another reason why you can get marked for that is for weaving in and out of parked cars when the tester felt you should have just drove straight past. Remember, we don't weave in and out of parked cars if it's safe to go straight past. Check this really important video above for position on the straight. Next we see they got a grade 2 for position turning right. This happens in most tests. It just means that they're either not over to the centre line enough, they're not driving in a straight line up to the turn, or they're either steering too early and cutting the corner, or steering too late and swan necking the turn. I'll leave a video in the description to explain that. If you would like to book lessons with us to help you pass your driving test, click the link in the description, fill out the form and we'll do the rest. Let's get that licence. Next we see they got a grade 2 for observation moving off in park position. So if you've seen any of my content before, you know how much I use GOSHO. Gear, observation signal, handbrake, observation. The reason why you can get a grade 2 moving off for that is either not checking your blind spot before you move, or you check your blind spot and you don't see a car coming up behind you and you pull out in front of them. Or if you do your observation, you put your indicator on and there's a car coming up behind you and you left your signal on. Remember, if you see a car coming, cancel your signal. Watch this really important video above for how to move off from a park position correctly. Next we see they got 2 marks for observation turning left. This could be either left into a side road or turning left at a T-junction. So what usually happens is when people turn left into a side road, they position in and they look over their right shoulder. So remember, when you steer, look where you're going. If when you steer and you're looking where you're going, for whatever reason there's a pedestrian crossing the road or there's cars parked on the left, you have to slow down and act accordingly. So I really wanted to watch this video above for 5 of the main reasons why people get marked for observation. And I have a bit for turn left and that will explain exactly what I mean here. Next we see they got 2 grade 2s for reaction to hazards. So that could be a number of different things. Usually what that means is they weren't planning up the road and reacting accordingly. So usually when someone crosses the road in front of you, people still accelerate at them, or if a car pulls out, they're not easing off. So there's a really important video in the description explaining what that means. Next we see they got a grade 3 for alighting. What alighting means is getting out of your car safely at the end of your test. You have to make sure it's safe to open your door, but you also have to make sure that the handbrake up, the car is in neutral or in a gear, and turn the ignition off. This person got out of their car with the engine running and walked into the test centre, and the tester failed him because he left the engine running. So it's such an unusual mark to get. I've never seen it before, but there you go. Next we can see we're into progress. So he got 2 grade 2s for progress turning right. That simply means he was just too slow, either turning right into a side road or right at a T-junction. Remember, once it's safe to go, you will be sort of expected to keep the car moving, provided it's safe to do so. Next we see they also got 1 grade 2 for progress turning left. Again, it could have been left at a T-junction or left into a side road. Again, once it's safe to do so, don't be shy, keep the car going. Next we can see they got a few marks for vehicle controls. So we see they got 2 marks for accelerator. That usually means just pressing the accelerator too hard in the lower gears, especially in first or second. And that ties in lovely with the next one. He got 2 marks for gears. So what I'd say happened was, in first or second, he was pressing the accelerator too hard and leaving it too late to then go up the gear. So them marks are probably for the same thing there. We see here they also got 1 grade 2 for handbrake. That either means that they weren't fully stopped and they stopped the car using the handbrake, or the tester felt that they should have had their handbrake up when they were on a slight hill and they just stayed in the foot brake. Remember, use your handbrake if you're on a bit of a hill. Next we see they got a grade 2 for competency reversing around the corner. That either means it was way too slow, it was way too wide, or they clipped the path, or whatever. So just watch this really important video above to explain how to reverse around the corner correctly. It's done in beginner, intermediate and test ready standard. Next we see they got a grade 2 for competency on the turnabout. That just means it was either way too slow, or they took too many cracks at it, or it was just very messy. So watch this really important video above to explain how to do the turnabout correctly. Remember, if you want help to pass your driving test, click the link in the description, fill out the form and we'll be happy to help.